Welcome to the Toffee Blues, your source for all things Everton, where Terry and I are back with another player performance review for this season's first team squad. We've just done Luca Dean, so now it's time to review his partner in crime on that left flank, our little Brazilian wing wizard, Bernard. Been an interesting season for Bernard, I think. We've seen a change of coach, of course, spells in and out of the team, a few injuries. Not the most consistent of seasons, but I think we've saw a few more glimpses of magic from Bernard this year than we did last. I still think he's very much, maybe after Richarlison, the player who gets the fans out of the seats.
Yeah, I mean, he's definitely the most skillful player on the ball, I'd say. Whether he's the most impactful, probably not. You get other players who score more goals, make more assists than him. But in terms of play on the ball, helping his other teammates, creating chances, making things happen, all the cliches. He's fantastic. He's another one, as I said in the previous segment, I love Luca Dean. I absolutely love Bernard. For my money, he'd be starting every game that he's fit on that left-hand side. I'd have that left-hand side
sewn up like that.
Yeah, you absolutely boxed off, not to worry about, because Bernard gets criticised for not, chipping in with the assists and the goals, but I think his greatest contribution to the team is how much he helps Luca Dean. Luca Dean is the most effective when he's with Bernard compared to Iwobi or certainly with Sigurdsson when he's on the left, because Bernard facilitates Luca Dean's game. He works hard, puts the work rate into defend alongside him as well, and yeah. It's true. He should. With the skill he's got, he can score more goals, get more assists. But he's often, a lot of players are like this. I think it's a lazy comparison because everyone does it. But I think Pienaar was similar in the sense of he's often the pass before the assist. Bernard, he gets the ball rolling. He gets the passage of play set up properly, and then someone makes an assist and then a goal, and he won't get the credit for it. But I do worry though. I don't know whether Ancelotti fancies him. He's sort of, the fact that Bernard's been fit at times and he's played Gylfi Sigurdsson on that left-hand side Carlo Ancelotti is one of the world's best ever managers, but I just don't see what he sees in Sigurdsson over Bernard. I think Bernard, when fit, in that sort of inverted
levels above Sigurdsson.
Yeah, in that like specialist left-hand side / number 10 / number 8 position that we use, where he tucks in and goes central, and you'd have Luca Dean.
I think he's perfectly suited to that role.
Yeah, I mean, Iwobi is the same, but Iwobi offers one thing and Bernard offers another, and for my money, I'd prefer Bernard. I think he's the most skillful. I think he's the most creative, and he's just fantastic. He's
a really enjoyable player to watch, isn't he?
Yeah. I think we play better with him. I don't like him on the right-hand side. I don't think it suits him at all. He's done that occasionally since he's been here, and he's not really done it much in his career. I just wish he scored more and got more assists, because it'd just get a lot of the pressure off his back. No one could point any fingers at him if he got those big numbers, even just a couple more here and there. And it is required in the team, but I don't think it's something that can, I don't think it's a stick to beat him with, because, if you're asking me, he'd play every week. That left-hand side should be concrete until, such a time that injuries or massive drops in form happen, but I don't think I've seen any.
There's an interesting thing I think you were talking about. Maybe Ancelotti doesn't fancy him. He certainly doesn't fancy him in away games, which is interesting.
Yeah, it might be his physicality. I don't know.
Yeah.
Again, Ancelotti knows, he's forgot more than I know about footy, let's be honest. But I don't understand that personally. I know he's small, but he works hard, and he puts in as much graft as anyone defensively. So, and I've never seen him bullied per se. There's been a few times where he's had tussles with players, but I never see him just bullied off the ball or ran past defensively or anything like that. Not consistently anyway. So I don't see what the problem is in away games, but it's clearly something that Carlo's identified and
I think obviously the way he plays, I think it is a lot easier to be more impactful in his style of play in a game where we might have more of the ball, which is usually the home games.
Yeah, I mean, you've got a squad, you pay a lot of money to have, I mean, we've paid a lot of money to have players we don't even use, but like you pay a lot of money to have options in each position, and I'm fine with Bernard, coming in and out of the team, for what the manager wants, but I just don't get playing Sigurdsson over him because, if it's a defensive thing, like Sigurdsson's the least effective player in general, I suppose, not just defensively, but he's a ghost. So Bernard lying on the floor prone is probably more of a deterrent to opposition attackers than Sigurdsson running is.
Well, I think Sigurdsson's only purpose is to cross, I think, and maybe that's why he sticks him on the wing.
Or point at other players who to give it the ball to instead of him. At least Bernard shows for the ball and wants it.
Yeah, there you go. I think just before we end up turning that into a Gylfi Sigurdsson review.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's definitely more positives than negatives from Bernard, that's for sure. I think I said this at the start, and I actually think Bernard's been better for us this year than he was last year. I think
he's got a full pre-season, hasn't he? And got away from his injury troubles from last season, which didn't hamper him all year, but it slowed him at the start. And can't underestimate what a pre-season at a club does, especially when it's new. So I agree with you there. Yeah, I think he's been better this season.
I think he only got the one league goal last year, and he scored 3 so far this season, and all 3 of them have been good goals. I think particularly that one against Crystal Palace, I thought was a fantastic goal. I think that's what we want to see more from him, and that's the only thing he's missing at the moment to make him, like you say, on the level of a Luca Dean or a Richarlison, like in terms of what they're worth to the team.
He's unselfish, isn't he? That's his problem. He doesn't get the goals because he's not always trying to get them. He's got the skill and the ability to score more, but he's just as happy to play someone else in or to just help the attack and move. His first goal of the season when he cuts inside after the break, he's only got eyes for goal because he's clearly told by Silva to score more, so he just decides to go for it. And you can see what he's got in his locker.
That's definitely it. I think maybe that's. I'm not sure what the situation is with Ancelotti. Of course, it's a bit of a different situation now with the 4-4-2 having 2 strikers already in the box. Maybe that might reduce his goal output, but I'd like to see a few more assists, certainly.
Well, yeah, I mean, all the midfielders will find that their roles change in a 4-4-2, but it might be something that suits him. Ancelotti hasn't been here very long, and a lot of players have been in and out the team with a little bit of consistency and stability. You might see everyone settle into their new roles. That especially Bernard, because that's as I said before, that inside left. He likes to have the right hand side be direct and fast, and the inside to be a creative player who tucks in. That's ideal for Bernard more than anyone else.
No, I think that's made for him, that role.
Yeah, he should theoretically be the midfielder who takes to it the most, I think.
Yeah, I think the real question marks are going to be in the centre of midfield as far as that's concerned. But I think in Bernard and to a lesser extent Alex Iwobi, I think we've got players who could do that role without too much adaptation.
Yeah, I agree. I wouldn't be expecting any additions to the team in that position, even if there hadn't been the pandemic and the spending was going to be as planned. I would have imagined that part of the team was safe as houses for the players who were there, because you've also got Anthony Gordon as well who can go in. It's the other side where you've only got Walcott and potentially Sidibe for that side. I wouldn't. I'd be very surprised if we see Bernard leaving anytime soon.
Well, neither of those players you mentioned are actually right midfielders, so that is an important position to strengthen. But with that in mind, I think there's been a few rumours before we finish about Bernard possibly leaving for Rome and among a few others, I think. What's your take on that?
Bloody hope not. But I doubt it. He's a very good player who's on very good wages. So why would we sell him, and who would be able to afford those wages? He's not so good that he'd get in a mega team. Otherwise, he'd already be there. Like, the big Champions League teams. And the teams who are our level or slightly above probably can't pay the Premier League level wages, which he's on. So I'd be very surprised if he left. I think it's all just paper talk at this point.
I think too much of it's paper talk at the moment. I think we could all go a bit dizzy with the kind of speculation we've been seeing in locked down, but I certainly wouldn't want any of that to come to pass with Bernard. I think we can both agree we'd like to see him stick around a bit longer at Everton.
Yeah, I mean, he'd be towards the bottom of my list of players outgoing, put it that way.
Most certainly. I like to think the best is still to come from Bernard.
He's a proper Everton player. He works hard, he defends, he's humble, and he's got a turn of skill as well. So him and Richarlison in different ways, I think they suit the club down to the ground. Because we couldn't have Brazilians who don't track back and don't put a tackle in. We have to have the hard working ones.
But what I will say is that's a fantastic point you've made, though, is the character side of things. I think there's the players Marcel Brands has brought in, a lot of them do seem like a very, very good fit for the club and the characters. And that basically, like you say, I think Everton fans don't like prima donnas. And Bernard's certainly not one of them.
Don't like players who don't care as well. There's one or two we've had, and one or two we've probably still got. And they're not very popular with fans because the Evertonians see right through it. And I think that's a big part of why Bernard is popular, because he works so hard and he fights for the badge, which is all Everton fans want.
And he's an incredibly likeable character off the field as well. I think you only have to speak to Alan Myers. I think he even said, didn't he, within 5 minutes of meeting him the first day he signed, he said, this guy's going to be a fan favourite, Alan Myers said. And I mean, he's spot on there. I think as a character, he's a fantastic little guy to have in the dressing room, and also a fantastic player on the pitch on his day.
Yeah, exactly.
I think it's the only thing he's missing, like we've said a few times, is obviously the output, but the consistency as well. If he can perform at his best on a more regular basis, he could become a linchpin of the team.
Well, the gauntlet's thrown down. Now he's got a top manager, which he didn't have beforehand. So it's sink or swim for everyone. Let's see how he gets on. Because Ancelotti, he's used to the best. So he's not gonna have any passengers. So Bernard needs to, make sure he's on that, coming along for that journey.
It'd be great to see him come along for that journey, though, because he, like I say, I think he's a player that we all love at Everton, and we'd like to see him stick around.
Yeah, definitely.
Right, so finishing off, what was he go for out of 10 for Bernard this season?
Go for a 7. I think he's been consistent. I think he's been better on the goals, and only slightly better, so it doesn't bump him up at all. But I'll go for a 7.
I'm going to go with a 7 as well. That's a unanimous one there, because again, it's another one of those. A bit like I said earlier about Luca Dean. I think he's not been outstanding, but he's solid, dependable, and he's one of the more reliable names on the team sheet. The ones who you don't think will let you down. More often than not, he doesn't, and he actually contributes something positive apart from pointing. So, which is always good. I can't wait for the Sigurdsson review. Telling you, it's going to be an absolute battle of laughs. Really but there you have it, guys. That's the end of the Bernard review. 7 out of 10 is a unanimous decision from Terry and I. Drop us a comment though on the video. Let us know what you think, what rating you give Bernard for his showing this year. What are the highlights of the season from Bernard? What would you think's the best moments he sort of served up for us this season? Where can he improve? And also, what does the future hold for Bernard as an Everton player? Do you think he'll stay for a while longer? Will he leave? Let us know your opinions. Give us a like and a subscribe. And thank you for watching on the Toffee Blues.